which is that the building.
And to reopen the public meeting, do I have a motion? Okay. Trustee Taylor, second trustee Rosillo. Okay, the meeting is now open.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor, huh? Okay.
4 ayes.
We got 4 ayes. Okay, now the meeting is officially open. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer by trustee Rosillo.
I pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yesterday, as we all recall, was September 11th, and it was an anniversary, the 16th anniversary of a terrible attack on our country. And there's also been terrible occurrences happening throughout the world with the weather and the hurricanes and many lost lives. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge those deaths and the services of the first responders who've put themselves at risk trying to save people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the board meeting for September 12th, 2017. As you can see, Mayor Canet is not with us tonight. He is recovering from hip surgery. I saw him today and he looks great. He's feeling fine, recovering very well. He just needs to take it a little easy. So we are sending our best wishes to him for continued speedy recovery. Deputy Mayor Golio is also out with a business meeting. So, but we still have a quorum, and so we can conduct village business. And this is the first time I've run a meeting, so bear with me. I'm sure with a little help from my friends, we'll get through this. Okay, so the first order of business will be a presentation by our Youth Services Council. Vinnie, you're the liaison, if you would do the introduction. Thank you.
Today, making the presentation will be the chairperson of the Youth Services Coalition, Lisa Bai. Lisa, why don't you come up and introduce yourself and your services.
Okay. Who would you like me to stand?
There.
By the microphone?
By that microphone.
Okay, need a microphone?
You have to have the microphone.
You have to have a microphone.
You need the microphone.
That's just going to entice me even more than I'm on television. Thank you, Trustee Rosillo, and thank you, trustees. So my name is Lisa Bai. I joined the Youth Services Council, probably about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And recently, about 2 years ago, we were lucky enough to apply for and were awarded a drug-free grant from the government, which is an amazing accomplishment. Coupled with the accomplishment is also the knowledge that we also qualified for that grant. So it's a double-edged sword. We're happy to have the government behind us and some resources, but we also only have it because we demonstrated the need for it. So recently what we did, and Trustee Rosillo was nice enough to invite me in here, along with Taryn Phelan, who is our coordinator. She's a coalition coordinator. And recently what we did was we created a PSA, public service announcement, and we were able to involve the kids of the community in writing the script for it, acting in it, producing it, and they were so excited and enthusiastic about participating in this public service announcement. It became infectious. And Taryn was able to set up a whole media campaign, and she was able to get this public service announcement on a local television. So some of you might have seen the commercial, and you'll see it in a couple of seconds if you haven't. It's also all over Facebook. So we have a structured media campaign that was launched a couple of weeks ago that will go a couple of more weeks. We'll do something similar with a fall PSA. We'll model some type of other situation. Maybe we'll do homecoming, maybe we'll do Halloween, maybe we'll do public areas. We'll pick something that the kids come forth with us, a topic that they find exciting, because the main goal for us is to engage the kids of the community in positive, alternative activities and behavior. Do you want to, I don't know how to do this.
Do you want to lower the lights? Would that help?
Way too much to drink. got it, Lisa?
Don't be an unwilling internet sensation. Back out. Don't black out. This message is brought to you by the Dobbs Ferry Youth Services Council.
Excellent.
And you'll notice how it ends. The kids chose that ending, so it was a positive ending, which was one of the girls looking for help rather than being continuously shamed by her community. That's very important to us as well, is to remove the whole element of shame and to demonstrate a positive outcome for any of these behaviors. So anyway, I just want to tell you a couple of things that we've done, highlight some of the things we've done in the recent past so you know what we've been doing. Recently, we attended a 3-week conference, Justin Campy, Taryn, and myself, and what that did was teach us how to be coalition managers and work with the resources we have, report back to the government, and show everybody that we're using the resources we have in a way that the government feels is productive and supports the program. So it just means a lot of messaging, a lot of alternative, positive activities. We have once a month, we have open gym night, which we open up the high school gym, and the middle schoolers and the high schoolers come in and they play ball for about 2.5 hours, get a couple of chaperones, order some pizzas in, they love it. And it keeps them active, and it keeps them, quite honestly, looking for other things to do on Friday night. We are partnering with the school, and we work with the athletic director and the school in rewriting and revising the athletic code of conduct. So there's a little input that we had. They had a very nice one, but we added a little something to it, and that will be an acknowledgement for the kids, and hopefully it is just a heightened awareness of what's at stake for them, and to continue to model productive behavior and to understand that drugging and drinking is not going to go hand in hand with good sportsmanship and behavior on the court. Another thing, yes, go right ahead.
So just one of the things I'd like to highlight about the athletic code of conduct, which I think is important, when working with Andrew Clash, who's the athletic director at the high school, we were reading over the code of conduct together to see which ways we could revise, instead of rewriting the entire thing, just kind of get our message across and work with them to do that. One thing that he himself even noted was the fact that it wasn't really mentioned in the original code of conduct. So the fact that it was something that hadn't been highlighted in the past and bringing that to the school's attention as well, I think was really important on our part. So that is definitely collaborating, working together to do the appropriate wording for both coalition and school, so parents, again, to the concept of raising awareness and trying to get the positive message out there across, especially the fact that these things will affect our athletes and our students, and that's something we definitely want to avoid.
And the last thing I wanted to highlight is we started having captains meetings, and we actually had our first one a couple of weeks ago, where we invited all the captains of the fall and the winter sports teams, brought them together, fed them. It's very important that we feed these kids.
Always.
Yes, always. Yes, chicken bacon ranch. And we fed these kids. They came together. What we want to do is encourage them to continue understanding that they are positive role models for their team and for the rest of the student body. And I think it was a provocative conversation that we had in terms of them understanding and keeping in touch with the fact that they have a lot of impact on the rest of the school. So that's something we'll be repeating monthly, and we'll be incorporating not only the sports teams, but the other activities in the school, such as the photography club and the yearbook club and things like that. So everybody gets their time. And just did you have anything else to add to it?
It was just one of the things I also want to note on is the fact that when Lisa and I walked into the room, the first thing he said was, "Oh, this is a meeting on social trust." And after the meeting started, it was more about building a relationship with them and elaborating the fact that as captains, people see you in this higher role, and you are a role model to your teammates and essentially your coaches as well. I do coach the girls lacrosse team at Dobbs Ferry, and one of the ways that we select coaches is we have the girls vote for a member of their team, the coaches pick a member of the team to be captain, and then we have a separate game captain each game, something like that. But the whole point is that you are a role model. We hope that you take these messages and what you do with us and take it back to your team. And Lisa said, because this was our first meeting, we did limit it to just the captains of sports teams. But now that school has started and clubs have began, a lot of the clubs have selected members that they will eventually send with us. We try to do it like maybe 2 or 3 times a semester right now. We know that kids are overwhelmed with schoolwork, and we don't want to have them spend all their time with us, as much as we love that. But just to open it up to everybody to see how can we help you as students, what would you like to see from us, you know, what ways can we better assist you in, you know, making healthier life decisions and things like that.
And the only thing I want to end up with is to explain that this coalition, this grant has an end. It's got a life, and it's a finite life. So what the coalition does is it teaches us, the Coalition 101 boot camp, teaches us that there's a cycle. And at the end of our cycle, we're expected to figure out how the community can sustain this coalition financially, on a community level basis. So what we're doing is trying to figure out how to gather more stakeholders, build capacity among the community members, among the school board, among the business owners, and demonstrate to them that they have a vested interest in keeping this coalition going, even after our 10-year funding ends. And I think that's really all I have to say.
One last thing.
Oh,
So, gotta end.
Now you know why the youth service council meetings go on for so long.
Got it.
It could last for hours, but we will cut it short. In just a second, I'm going to pass out some information to you guys, just so you can kind of see what we've been up to as far as our pamphlets. There's also magnets and a postcard with something called #WeTalkedOnIt. And this year, for the 2017-2018 school year, we would like to try to focus on just having conversations with your kids, those uncomfortable conversations. It doesn't need to necessarily be underage drinking or drug use, but just things that you'd like to know that are going on in their lives, opening up the lines of communication, and just trying to build better relationships with them as well. So there's little magnets on there that say "We Talked On It," so when you see those, that's what that's
We'll
for.
be at the high school open house and the middle school open house, and then of course I have to plug the holiday hustle, which is coming up on December 10th. And one other plug is a very important presentation. We are hosting a speaker on December 13th at Mercy College, and again, collaboration with our community members. He will be coming to the school for a 2-hour presentation at the school, in the high school, and we will be hosting him at Mercy College. His name is Chris Harron. He's a former NBA basketball player.
Those Celtics.
And his story is powerful and sobering, as he talks about his life as a successful NBA player, and then also as an alcoholic and a drug addict. So he'll be coming here on December 13th. So watch out for thank you.
And just to be clear, it's not just the high school. You're part of the coalition is also master's school,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And
We're
the,
trying to reach everybody, so Masters, Children's Village, we're trying to establish relationships with, definitely more stuff in the middle school and Mercy College as well. We're trying to build more capacity in those areas.
okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Great presentation, and you know, your group is doing such terrific work. Keep it up. We really appreciate it, and kudos to everyone involved. Okay. Another announcement I needed to make. There are 2 items on the agenda which are being pulled. Item 6, which is a block party, that is no longer happening, at least not at the moment that we know of. And item number 4, which was the lighting at the IPIC Theater. For those of you who remember, at the last time this came up, we were talking about, Ed had looked at this and found some problems with the lighting. He has since gotten the IPICs to adhere to the village regulation and code, so everything is in working order now, but we are tabling it because we had also promised the community that we would let you know when the work was done to give you an opportunity to go look at it. So it is done, so please go down and look at it, and we'll probably be visiting this at our next board meeting on September 26th. Okay, that being done, we're going to go to courtesy of the floor. You'll be recognized by the chair. Come up, speak into the microphone, state your name, your address, and is there anyone who wants to approach the board? And please turn off your cell phones.
Thank you, temporary mayor. Patty Steinschneider, 329 Broadway. Actually, 3 things, but I'll be very quick with them. We pulled the permit yesterday for the sidewalk work at 2 Ashford Avenue. What that's gonna be is us redoing the sidewalk, removing the curb cuts, doing all the stuff that we're supposed to do under the approvals that we've got. We have one street light that is there now that we'll be relocating, as the plan calls for. As we've looked at that location, we think it would be really good if we could get 3 more street lights, so that you have effectively symmetrical lighting of that section, you know, the lights that match the rest of the gateway. I know the village is not in a position to be doing this and, you know, and paying for it, but we would like to kind of try and work forward with that, and we're obviously, we can't go anywhere if we don't have the support of the village. So just if we can kind of, you know, get some feedback on that, if the village thinks it's a good idea, I think at that point we'd be approaching the state and the county, because it is a state road, so the state road going into a county road. But I think it is an opportunity. You know, the sidewalks will be done, it'd be hard to go back and do this. So we're hoping that that's something that people would agree would be a nice touch. Second thing is we just got done with a very long tweaking of the code. We looked at heights, we looked at other things. As some of you are aware, I remained relatively, for me, silent in that process, as I was supposed to. I didn't comment on certain things, and now that it's done, I wanted to point out that there was one thing that consistently was being said, which just was not true, which was that the concept of mansard roofs in docks were being done by us consistently for the purposes of being able to build a taller structure, because we were measuring to the midpoint of the mansard roof. We've done 4 mansard roofs in Dobbs Ferry. Wits End, the Kyron's house, 2 Ashford Avenue, and 66 Main Street. In all cases, we always measured to the very top of the roof, never to the midpoint of the mansard. So it was never the advantage people thought with that, but the code has cleaned up the wording on that, which I think is a great thing. It eliminates any confusion that could lead anyone to think they could do that. The third thing is, it is 1 month from the Ferry Festa. So it is time for you, if you have not signed up out there, it is time to sign up. We are getting a lot of out-of-town signups. In fact, we're running much stronger with out-of-town than we have in the past, and we're running lighter on in-town than we have in the past. So I think part of it is we've improved the sophistication of our reaching out methodologies with our websites. But I think what it takes in downtown Dobbs Ferry is the old approach that we used, which is walking in store to store with the application and saying, have you guys signed up yet? So we'll be doing that, we'll go store to store, but anybody out there who has any questions, please let me know. And we're obviously interested in getting everyone signed up. So thank you.
Well, one question, Patty, you were talking about putting in new sidewalks by 2 Ashford. You will be providing a pedestrian pathway?
I'm not sure how it's being done. I know it's worked out with both the police and with DPW.
Okay.
So I think there's no way they can really keep, like, they can't pour half the sidewalk and leave the other half.
Yeah.
So there'll be downtimes, but the downtimes on it will be relatively quick. I know that sounds unusual with 2 Ashford, but it'll be relatively.
Do you have any idea when that will be done, to Ashford?
We just pulled the permit yesterday, so I'm thinking in a couple of weeks.
It's a 3-month permit,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's, after 3 months, they have to go through the whole program again.
Yeah, so it has to be done in that time. The question I have right now is I don't want it being done for selfish reasons when the fest is going on. So we either have to get it done by that or do it right after that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else wish to address the board?
My name is Karina Reem. I live at 30 Livingston Avenue, and I'm here before you today to reiterate the importance of a matter that came before the board previously, and that is changing the name of Livingstone Avenue down by Rivertown Square. Basically, everybody who lives on Livingstone Avenue is negatively impacted by the fact that the name is continuing to stay the same and isn't moving forward more quickly to have Livingstone Avenue renamed. I have previously submitted a letter of support, statement of support from all of the businesses that that were open on and had a Livingstone address as of June 30th, with the exception of IPIC Theater and New York Sports Club, who said, you know, whatever, because they're national entities, whatever it is that our village wanted to do with the street name, they would go along with it. In preparation for this meeting, I went back and met with the people on my street to get some information about the types of problems that they're having. If you're not familiar with these types of problems, let me just kind of spell it out for you. I live at 30 Livingston. There is also a 30 Livingstone. If you want to do a fun little test later, you could think I want to go to one of those, try to put in your GPS, and probably half of you will end up at the one you did not want to go to. So it causes a lot of problems in terms of, you know, people trying to navigate to the area. I've noticed in the last several months, every Friday, Saturday night, cars are coming on to Livingston Avenue looking for IPIC Theater. They've been sent to the wrong location. They're all scratching their heads. If I happen to be out there, I will redirect them. I tell them to put in New York Sports Club and they'll get right there. You know, this is just a sampling of this week's packages that I have received for business. This is just, you know, Monday, Tuesday. I have.
You are going to give these things right.
So I share my address with Northwell Go Health Urgent Care Center, which currently is not open, but there are, you know, tax bills, things from their landlords, bank statements. These things are coming to my place. They're not open currently, so I have no idea what of mine is going there, but I can just tell you this is 2 days worth of stuff coming to my place. I have other things that were much larger, and I spared everyone the spectacle of seeing all of that. But I am in communication with their management to make sure they try to update their addresses, but it's an ongoing problem. Also, another business that shares an address with a home on Livingston Avenue is number 29. It is a learning center, which is opening. I believe it's called the Learning Experience. They recently had more than 3 dozen packages delivered to 29 Livingston. The problem is that from the mail person's perspective, they have to deliver it the way it's addressed, even if they know like it really doesn't belong there. They can't be assuming that somebody left the E off or didn't add the E. So there's a lot of headaches, not to mention the 400 pounds of chairs that I diverted to be delivered to my home a few months ago. So these are ongoing problems, and many of the complaint, you know, it's not really a complaint, it's just more of an issue that I think if you don't live on these streets and if you don't go to these locations, you may or may not be aware of. But for me, the main points are large commercial deliveries come to my home on a daily or at the very least 2 or 3 times a week basis. I believe this is going to increase because once Go Health is open, they'll be needing more and more deliveries from medical supply companies and things of this nature, which, you know, they don't come out in small trucks. They usually come in big trucks, so it sends large truck traffic through, like, onto Livingston. Once it gets there, it can't turn around, so then it has to go to the downtown.
I don't mean to cut you short.
Yes.
But I'm cutting you short.
Yes.
Let you know, we have been discussing it.
Yes.
I believe we were checking with the attorney. I think we have to have a public hearing on this.
Okay.
And we will, at the next meeting, we will call for a public hearing. So
Okay.
we are aware of this. You made a great presentation. I think anybody who has any hesitation about why this is needed, I think you probably answered their question. But we are addressing this, yes.
Super quick point.
Sure.
Which is the most important point. It's actually last on my list, but it's the most important point. In the event that there is a life safety situation, and you were to call 911, or my child were to call 911, the responder would have to spend precious seconds trying to figure out which street I'm at, or which street the problem is. And, you know, I really don't think that that's appropriate, and it could create lots of problems that could be solved by, you know, changing the name.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. But we have heard you. We are taking action on it.
I just wanted to say really quick. And then I'll sit down.
You only have 3
I have
minutes.
letters of support, which I would like to submit to you from the Chamber of Commerce and also another resident who couldn't be here tonight but asked me to provide a
Okay.
letter. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for hearing us.
Okay. Anyone else
Yes.
wish to
Got my hand up.
address the board?
Her hands up.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Judith Spikes, I live at 5 Grace Terrace. I'm speaking in regard to the proposed waiver for the IPICs to use uplighting. Now, I may have missed something very recently, but when I last was hearing about this, this would be the one and only waiver that has so far ever been given for uplighting in Dobbs-Ferry. The building code is very clear on the good reasons for banning uplighting throughout Dobbs-Ferry. The good reasons for waiving the law for IPIC are not clear, at least to me. So therefore, this proposal strikes me as bad in itself and bad in setting a bad precedent for the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you were here, I think you came in a little late, but that's off the table for tonight.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I just didn't know if you had known that. Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else wish to address the board? Yeah.
Lee Constantine, I have a quick question about item number 3. It said something about there's a SEQRA process for the parking lot. It doesn't specify what parking lot.
Okay.
There's no backing dots for it. So if the board could elaborate and tell us what that is and why there's no further information available to the public.
Okay, when we get to that item, yeah, there's. It's the parking lot at the old DPW site down at the foot of Cedar Street. We're putting in 90 parking spaces there.
Oh, okay. And I just want to say something about the Livingston address change. I mean, a lot of that looks to me as if it's sloppy mail. We used to get mail from the chart house a number of times. And we would tease them that we want a free dinner down there for all the times we had to return their mail to them. Even in workplaces that is long established, it's just sloppy mail delivered. And the carrier not used to it and the carrier not knowing. Get it all the time in workplaces and homes and everywhere. Thank you.
Anyone else care to address the board? Yeah.
Hi, Nancy Delmargo, now, 81 Brandon. I spoke to Karina about this a while ago, and I believe that it's been, just because I know her, another lucky parent who had a child in my art class. But this apparently has gone on for a while with the people existing before Rivertown Square. So my request to you is, since, there is a safety issue, can maybe a little timeline really be set so, you could get a public hearing and not make it happen? Because God forbid something happens, It's really not safety, so.
No, we can, at the next board
I know you
meeting.
want to do it, but,
Unfortunately, there are rules and regulations that we have to follow, so.
Like we should say, it went,
No, I'm just saying it's,
Yeah.
in a perfect world, let's hope nothing happens.
Right.
You know what I'm
I mean, it's been before the planning board has said it should be done.
Yeah.
And now we're going
Yeah,
to schedule a
we're doing
public
it.
hearing to address that and move on it, so. No, it is important,
Yeah,
you're
no,
right.
definitely no question about it. Anyone else? That's it?
That's it.
Okay, all right, so, here we go. The first, just 1 second, the first matter to requiring action is we're considering a motion to adopt, to appoint Paul Colombo as the first alternate for the Architectural and Historical Review Board for a term of 3 years, and to appoint Ms. Sharon McCann Doyle as a member of the nominating committee for a period of 1 year. So I request a motion for these appointments. Do I have a motion? Okay, trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Taylor, any discussion? Okay, this was also recommended by the nominating committee, and we did receive information on these people. So all in favor? Okay, that carries with 4 ayes. Second matter requiring action, motion for the negative declaration for the Embassy Center. As you know, we are doing a lot of work at the Embassy Center, and as a process of doing our due diligence, we have to file a SEQRA report. And Charlene, would you explain this further to us? We do also have a resolution to declare a negative
This is part and
declaration
parcel of the Embassy Center project. As everyone knows, it is a refurbishing and expansion of the Embassy Center. And in order to really have all the requirements in writing, I mean, this is a negative declaration. Usually you really don't need a resolution for that, but we as a village make sure that it is in resolution form and the seeker is filed. I'll read the resolution. It's really it's just no environmental impact on that area for a variety of reasons, because it is just the refurbishment and the expansion is within the lot line, etc. So, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Dobbs Ferry, finding no significant, I better put on my glasses for this, finding no significant environmental impact from the proposed renovation and expansion of the Embassy Center at 60 Palisades Street. Whereas the village-owned Embassy Center at 60 Palisades requires improvements to address existing structural issues and to update and provide for a modest expansion of the building to better serve the village senior population. And whereas the preliminary plans have been drawn up to address the needed improvements of the center, and this includes the upgrading of kitchen facilities, modification of bathroom facilities to meet the current ADA requirements, enhancement to the building's meeting and exercise rooms, as well as needed structural repairs. Whereas in order to accomplish the needed building upgrade, a building addition of 1,760 square feet is included in the overall plan and is designed to serve the existing population and not accommodate major expansion of the building use and occupancy. Whereas the proposed project has been deemed an unlisted action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQRA, and the village has caused a short form EAF to be completed and filed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees herein find that renovation and new construction addition of the Embassy Center shall have no significant effect on the environment. Therefore the Board issues a negative declaration on the seeker, and the Board of Trustees finds that the project is consistent with the village local waterfront revitalization program. I would like to remind everyone that this is being looked at by the Facilities Committee and the Recreation Committees, and they have been very, very helpful in reviewing the project and getting everything approved. And I think it consists of a little more than 20 people, actually, that have been working on this, and actually their input has been great.
Thank you very much. All right, that is the resolution. Do I have a motion to approve a negative declaration? Okay, Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Rosillo, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? All right, that passes with 4 ayes. Next matter requiring action, sort of the same thing. This is to declare a negative declaration for the new parking lot being established at the foot of Cedar Street. It's a 90 space facility, which we have been talking about in the past. So, and again, Charlene, if you would explain this and read the resolution.
Yes, I would ask for an amendment to the resolution.
Oh, an amendment? Okay.
Amendment to one of the appendices, and that is so that you're voting on the correct aspect of it, that it is near or adjoining a commercial piece of property and residential. And I believe that's on, let's see. It's a very, very small addition to it. And I'm sorry for that. I believe it's on page 1.
Number 4?
Yes.
Check
So
commercial
check all land
also?
uses.
Check commercial?
Check commercial also?
Yes,
Okay.
just check commercial and residential, and that's. Would we need a separate motion on that?
No, I'll have Paul change it
Yeah.
when he signs it.
Great. So the resolution is much like the former one. It's for Cedar Street and Palisades, which is 99 Cedar Street. Whereas the village owns a lot located at the corner of Cedar Street and Palisades, the site of the former Department of Public Works. And whereas the plans have been drawn up by Paul Petretti, licensed engineer, for 100 by 250 parking lot at the site with drainage improvements to replace the former destroyed DPW building, whereas the proposed project has been deemed a type 2 action under the state, the SEQRA, and the village has caused a short form EAF to be completed and filed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees herein finds that the proposed project shall have no significant effect on the environment.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve, to adopt this negative declaration with its amendments? Okay, trustee Taylor, second trustee Sullivan, discussion? All in favor? All right, that passes with 4 ayes. All right, now we're up to number 4, which has been tabled. And number 5 we have. Okay, consider a motion to approve audits 1 and 2 for September 2017 as recommended by the village treasurer. Okay, I know Larry and Vinnie, you guys have looked at this and everything's okay?
Yes, I reviewed it.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve audits 1 and 2? Trustee Taylor, trustee Rizzo, discussion? All in favor? All right, that passes with 4 ayes. Moving right along. Consider a motion to approve a request for, oh, no, that's been tabled too. That's right, okay, that's gone. That was the block party. All right, so this is 7?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's the last one.
The last one, consider a motion to approve a request for the Ferry Festa committee to post banners, signs, and flags for the 2017 Ferry Festa at various locations in the village. The request is to post flags at Cedar Street and at the Gateway. The Ferry Festival also has gotten approval from a number of private sites too, where the flags go up. So we do this every year, and I think that's okay. So can I have a motion to allow the Ferry Festa to, let's should require, okay, so it's a motion to approve a request from the Ferry Festa committee to post flags and banners for the 2017 Ferry Festa at various locations through the village. Do I have a motion?
I just want to confirm with
What?
Charlene that all the places they're asking
right.
for are actually
Yes,
village property.
this has been looked at by Gary and Betsy.
Okay.
Otherwise I would have said something.
Okay. I just want to check because it was a lot of different locations. It wasn't
Yes.
just, Washington and
Yeah.
Ashford.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve this? Okay, trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Rosillo, discussion, all in favor? All right, that's the actions to begin. Now we have the minutes. All right, does anybody have any amendments or corrections on the minutes?
No.
We okay?
I'm comfortable.
Yep.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for, what date is that for? For August 22nd. Trustee Russillo, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Okay, and that passes with 4 ayes. All right, coming to the end. Here we go. Reports and announcements. Does anyone have a report?
I don't know the time because I just received information on the way in, but the seniors are having I don't remember what she called it. Sorry, Abby. An annual party. They're having a party on September 26th with a DJ. Do you know about it, Charlene?
Yeah, I know about it, but I don't remember what.
Okay. Anyway, so it should be a good event on the 26th at the Firehouse, which is still gracious enough to let them use the space. And so hopefully it'll be a good turnout because everybody could do something fun this month.
Claire?
I just want to make sure people are aware that Spring Community Partners is hosting its first ever gala. For those of you who don't know Spring Community Partners, it's an organization that was founded, it sort of sprung up, I suppose, in a way, to meet the needs of children in the village who are typically attending the schools. It came out of the school system, but it's a private nonprofit that's organized for kids who are less well off in the village to help them have what they need to participate fully in all of the school programs. A very, very important charity here. And it stays within and helps people in Dobbs.
Okay. Do you have anything?
No.
Yep, okay. I just have 2 announcements. One is that Roots and Wings is sponsoring an event on, let's see what it is. Oops. On September 22nd, 7:30 to 9 p.m. It's a potluck at 6:30. There's a $10 suggested donation. It will be held at the South Presbyterian Church in Dobbs Ferry. And the name of the event is The Promise of Permaculture. It is Discover a Garden's Impact on a Neighborhood. So if you're interested in that, please attend. The second announcement is that this evening we were supposed to be having a presentation to Trustee Corrales for her service to the village. Because we only have 4 people and the mayor's not here, we are going to postpone that presentation, and that will take place at our October 10th meeting. So I think that's it. Any further, with that, no further actions to be taken, this meeting is adjourned.